Alright, y'all. Peace and blessings. God bless y'all. I'm Jarvis Kingston. I hope y'all doing alright in these times that we're in. Now, today I want to discuss about building, creation, and producing for God. You know, it's important for us in our relationships with God and this walk with God that we realize, what are we building for the kingdom of heaven? What are we building for God? What are we creating for God? What are we producing for the Most High? You know, God put us on earth to be workers as well, and not just workers for ourselves or our families or just some company or job or corporations, but basically work for Him on a spiritual matter. And everything we do, we must give it back to the Most High and give Him the glory and praise for it. Every gift that God has gave us, every talent that He's gave us, you know, what are we doing with the gifts that we have? What are we doing with the abilities that He gave us to do? How are we using it to bring it back to Him? How are we using it to glorify God? You know, what are we truly building for God? Are we building a platform, a place of the gospel, a place of the word for Him? Or are we creating any fellowships or any ministries or any churches or any facilities where we could praise the Lord? Are we producing? Are we getting out results? Are we changing people's lives with it? Are we transforming people's lives? Are we converting people to Christ? Are we converting people to the kingdom of heaven? Are we bringing people in? What are we truly building, creating, and producing for God? You know, because the Most High put us on earth to do many things. Even Christ said that we would do more works than He did. You know, Christ was, healing people and, He was cleansing people, was casting out demons, all types of things. And Jesus Himself said that we're going to do more works than He did. So what works are we truly doing for God? What are we truly building for Him? What are we creating for Him? What are we producing for Him? With our hands, how are we diligent? How are we hardworking? Are we hardworking? Are we diligent? Are we serving God rigorously? Are we serving God with all of our might? You know, are we really going out our way every day to serve Him and bring people to Him? You know, we have to ask ourselves that, like, what am I going to build for Him? What am I going to create? How am I going to glorify God? Will I do it through music? Will I do it through art? Will I do it through sports? Will I do it through any endeavor that I'm in? You know, any environment that you're in, how can I glorify God through it? You know, how can I let my light shine before other people in any of my environment that I'm in? You know, how can I be the salt of the earth in this environment, this place? You know, God called us to be many things and to do many works. And as we live in our lives every day, we have to reflect, like, is everything I'm doing going back to God? Or is it going back to myself? Or is it going back to others? You know, we got to ask ourselves that, because the Most High wants us to glorify Him and to bring people to Him. And He also wants us to dedicate things to Him, like when David did his poetry, when David did his music, he gave it back to God. David gave it to the Lord. When you read the whole book of Psalms, that's basically David crying out to God and venting to God in a musical way. And, David was a poet. He was a musician. And he used music to give it back to the Lord. He created music and created poetry, created psalms, That was his way of giving God back everything. What are we doing with ourselves or our gifts or our talents that's giving it back to God? How are we honoring it? What are we truly building, creating, and producing? You know what I mean? Noah, he was a farmer. So he would like to just, bless the land and get into agriculture and produce a lot of fruits and veggies. That was his way of giving back to God, invest in the earth, being eco-friendly and being into agriculture and whatnot. There's different ways to give back to God. There's different ways to, create, build, and produce for God. There's so many ways to go about that, And it's on us to figure out what's needed to be done in a way we could glorify God and how we could give back to Him and how we could build towards Him, build for Him. You know what I mean? So just wanted to kind of give y'all something to think about with that one, How are we going to build for God? What are we building for Him? What are we truly creating for Him? Are we producing results? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I just wanted to get into this whole like content creating, this whole podcasting thing, because I feel like in such a digital world that we live in and this advanced technology, I feel like this is the best way for me to go about it. I give God the glory through my social media pages or through podcasting, digitally, you know what I mean? Or through playing sports, I give him the glory for it when it comes to playing sports, see? So there's different ways to honor God and build for him and create for him and produce for him, you know what I mean? And we all got to find our own niche. We have to all find our own thing. We can't covet. We can't be copycats. We can't do what the next man, next woman doing. We can't be a monkey see, monkey do type of thing. We have to have our own way of building for the Most High. Because God gave all of us our own unique gifts, our own unique talents or whatnot. And it's on us to use it the right way and for the right reasons, So just wanted to use that as a quick reminder that we need to build for God, we need to create for him, and we need to produce for him, So just something to remind y'all with. I pray to God that whoever listens to this message, I pray that you get baptized, you start your life over for the Lord. I pray that you build beautiful things for God. I pray that you create a lot of great things for the Most High. I pray that you produce and get a lot of results out of it as well. I'm Jarvis Kingston. I got much love for y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.